What's with you people? I didn't watch Digimon growing up. I was in college, for God's sake. I didn't even watch Pokemon. Pikachu, fuck that shit. And yet so many people are like, oh, do Digimon. No, seriously, that's how some of the emails go. Look, do Digimon, waves arms in girly fashion and squeaks in high-pitched pussy voice. What am I supposed to say about a show I don't know / care anything about? And yet everybody's asking me to do it. There's only one person that can help me out with this. God damn it, there's no clouds out! When the hell would that ever happen? God damn it, it's during the day! Tap dancing crap! Time has come.
Are we invading another micronation?
God damn it, what do you want?
It says Joe in the sky.
No, it doesn't. It says J-O.
Yeah, that spells Joe.
Fuck it. Do you have Jesu Otaku's number?
Yeah?
Can you text it to me?
Not until I get a Joe signal in the sky. I deserve a Joe signal, Critic.
Oh, Cube, someday we'll rule this world together. We just need to fix your ears first. Hello?
Hey, look outside.
Yeah?
You see that incredibly expensive spotlight being pointed in the sky?
Yeah, I thought that was for Angry Joe, actually.
I'm doing Digimon. You want to help or not?
Oh, Critic, you can't come and do a show like Digimon and expect to properly represent it. You need to have grown up with it. See, a majority of the episodes have a good connection to the fan community that you obviously don't have, so yeah, this is far out of your league, even with my help.
Well, that's the way it has to be. I mean...
Now, the movie, on the other hand...
Digimon, go monsters, Digimon, gotta jump bills. Digimon, go monsters, Digimon...
But wait, I thought in order to talk about the movie, I have to know about the show, right?
Well, technically, this movie claims you can come into it without knowing anything about the show, or the franchise. They say they explain everything for newcomers.
Do they?
No, but that's part of why it sucks so much. It's actually 3 films with completely different plots and settings smashed together into one with only Smash Mouth songs and bad puns holding it together.
So even fans of the show didn't like this movie?
For the most part.
Oh, joy bunnies.
Let's not waste any time.
Really? Because I'm quite content with wasting time.
Let's take a look at this elephant dookie that is the Digimon movie. So, we open on...
This is it, DigiPal.
Oh, fuck me, I forgot about this part.
What the fuck is that? God, those Digimon are even more hideous than I imagined!
No, this isn't Digimon, that's, Angela Anaconda.
Boy, I thought Japanese animation would be a little better than this.
Well, it's not exactly the movie. Angela Anaconda was owned by Fox as well, so they wanted to promote 2 turds with 1 bomb. Wasn't shown just in theaters for a quick gag either. It kicks off every copy of the movie. This is seriously part of the flick. This is their best foot forward, people.
It's like an extreme night terror if you passed out drinking moonshine while watching Terry Gilliam cartoons.
Oh, so Mrs. Brinks and Ninny Poo think they can block the Digimon show with their big fat Digimon blocking heads, do they? Angela Anaconda, Digi-Evolve to Angelamon!
My God, it's still going!
Goes on for 4 minutes! You know, at least the Pokemon movie didn't open with the biker mice from Mars motoring in to watch it on the big screen.
What's next? SpongeBob racing in to watch The Last Airbender?
Boy, Shyamalan needs to throw in the towel.
I thought there were blue cats in this.
So, when does the movie actually start? What the country fried Christ crackers? Is that a digi-rap?
Don't look or listen to it, your brain will fall out.
With Digi-Will and Digi-Fight. device in hand. There's a digi-dynamic force in Digiland. When the digi-past and digi-present collide, time to digi-side.
Yes, this is especially bad in how cheap and corporate pandering it is, even for a children's anime, and that's saying a lot.
The digi-dudes will digi-rule with digi-ability and digi-tune.
You know, I don't think the rapper from Friday here has said Digi enough times. Nah, stick Digi onto more words. It'll be funny. No, we know what we're doing. We're Fox producers.
It's Digi-forced and Digi-contrived! No Digi-brain cells will be left alive!
There's no doubt about it. This is simply embarrassing. If only they could put a more dignified rap in there. Thus we get our first scene of the movie.
Who says there's no such thing as monsters?
And I'm lost. Didn't take you long, did it, Phil?
No, it's okay. This is just a flash forward to what you're about to see.
Oh, so they're showing us what's gonna happen, like, near the end of the movie?
Actually, more like the first 10 minutes. This whole scene is pretty pointless, seeing as how we're gonna see it again in just a few moments.
Maybe they figured the target audience would walk out if some violence didn't happen in the first few seconds.
But after that, we're introduced to Kari, the resident Mary Sue and younger sister of the show's lead character, Ty. Not that you know that. This movie's not kind to the uninitiated.
And yet, oddly enough, they never shut the hell up.
I was right. It was our first Digi-Egg. And on the other side of the world, Willis was getting his Digi-Egg at the exact same time.
The human squeak toy talks on and on throughout the movie, shouting exposition, and yet I still have no idea what's going on.
I'm part of a team called the Digi-Destiny. There were only a handful of us at first, but we've added a few members since then. That's Willis, in America. His digital adventure, as well as ours, began that night, 8 years ago.
Like, who the fuck is Willis? They keep talking about him, but apparently he's over in America while this takes place in Japan.
Oh, trust me, we'll get to that.
Joy. So Kari tells the audience that 8 years ago their computer dropped them off a strange delivery of spam and eggs. She and her brother are confused by the alien egg, but decide to take care of it while their mother is out.
If anybody asks where that weird-looking egg came from, let's tell them our chicken coop is on a nuclear waste dump.
One problem this movie and the TV show unfortunately share is their propensity for bad jokes. Not just unfunny jokes, but ones that don't make any sense when you start to think about them. Some were so bad they created plot holes in the story.
I'll make 3-bean salad.
Nobody's coming over, Mom.
That's all right. I only have 2 beans anyway.
It's alive!
What?
The egg suddenly hatches, revealing...
My name is Kari. Kari. You two are the best friends I ever had. We're the only friends you've had.
I wouldn't find that face hugging too cute. The last person that happened to didn't turn out so well.
Oh, God!
Yeah, you may notice this movie has an eclectic soundtrack. Entirely inappropriate in every scene, but eclectic. I like to play late 90s bingo with it.
Ooh, Fat Boy Slim!
After several cutesy minutes with terrible jokes...
It can't get any worse. It just got worse.
An electrical storm blows through the city, causing everything to go haywire and the kid's Digimon friend to put on his serious business face. An entirely new face, in fact.
You know that this Koromon isn't the one we became friends with later on.
So he goes through the natural evolution from tiny bunny rabbit into... human-sized dinosaur.
No.
Well, let me explain. Digimon are supposed to be living packets of data, so the bigger the packet, like kilobytes, megabytes, gigabytes, etc., the bigger the monster, and they become stronger by eating, learning, and bonding with organic life forms, specifically human children.
So it's a Tamagotchi?
Yeah, a Tamagotchi that kicks ass!
My Gigapet never did that. I usually just let it die.
This is why the show was awesome!
Polly want a cracker? Oh, really big cracker?
And that's why this movie sucks.
So Baloney the dinosaur dukes it out with a giant parrot that just seems to pop the fuck out of nowhere, while the kids cower underneath it. Okay, I have to admit, the animation in this fight is a lot of fun to watch. In fact, I'd even say it's pretty damn impressive.
Yeah, most of the footage they cut together to make this movie was directed by Mamoru Hosoda. a unique and talented anime director who later went on to make The Girl Who Leapt Through Time and Summer Wars. His Digimon work was really excellent, and even in this choppy American recut, a lot of the sweetness and emotion of the original shines through.
Are you gonna go on about this for a few hours?
I usually do.
Sorry, my review. Crappy movie first, boring anime bullshit later.
Later?
As in never.
Oh.
So the two fight, and eventually the dinosaur wins.
Now that's what I call a dead parrot.
It was a while before we realized that those of us who saw what happened became the Digidestined. It was even longer before we found out that Willis met his Digimon that same night.
Okay, they mentioned this Willis kid again, but he's not anywhere in the friggin' movie so far. Why do they keep bringing him up?
Okay, remember when I said they used 3 different Digimon movies to make this one?
Let me guess. He's not in the other 2 movies they used, is he?
Yep, he's only in the last one, so to try and pretend they have a cohesive narrative, they just keep talking about him. It's annoying as fuck. Speaking of which, flash forward 4 years to a completely different plot. We're done with that one. Let's go, let's go.
What? When did this movie become Castaway? You mean this whole scene had nothing to do with...
What comes next? Nope. Or what comes after?
Then why did they show it?
Because it had a dinosaur fighting a parrot. How could you not show that?
Like this.
Asshat.
Woman, child.
So, 4 years later, we meet computer whiz and fan favorite Izzy, farting about on the World Wide Web.
Huh? Prodigious! A computer virus on the internet!
Wow! Prodigious! A hippie in a Prius!
Prodigious! Ben Kingsley in a bad movie!
Prodigious! A thing that would very obviously be in another thing!
Prodigious! A balding internet reviewer who screams a lot!
Prodigious! An anime fan who obviously takes herself way too seriously!
Asshat.
Woman, child! So this Kari girl narrates more about how there's a Digimon egg online.
Digi-egg.
Oh god, that's the official term.
It was cute! They call evolution digivolving, too. And their little trinkets are called digivices.
Yeah, and was it cute when Kid Icarus kept putting Icus at the end of every word, too?
You can count on me to win the archery event, Princessicus.
No, but he didn't have a dinosaur fighting a parrot. Argument over. The Digi-Egg's been infected with a virus, and it's trying to destroy the real-world network. Tai doesn't have time to worry about because he's trying to send an email to his crush, Sora, and the evil Digi-Egg won't let it go through. Oh, the horror.
I'm going to a birthday party. I got my friend a pink Power Ranger.
Guess what show the company who dubbed this also owned?
Yogi Bear? I thought maybe the Ranger went gay.
You try and tell a girl you're sorry and your computer shuts you down!
There you ladies!
Going for diagonal. 1 hour of movie to go. Izzy gets a hold of Tai and tells them they have to contact their friends in the digital world to stop the internet menace.
It's been a long time.
Who else is there?
You can collect them all in each McDonald's Happy Meal.
Actually, I think Dairy Queen made the toys for this thing.
You know this and you're not deeply ashamed?
I never said I wasn't.
The kids send their Digimon out to fight the virus, an orange dinosaur and an electric ladybug. And they pulverize it. But all they've done is made it an angry arachnid, who takes off to wipe out the electric devices of the real world. So they call the blonde kid,
Matt,
and his little brother,
TK,
it doesn't matter, I'm gonna forget him tomorrow anyway, who are on vacation to come back to the city and back him up. Less than Jake!
Less than Jake! Less than Jake!
All I need is Savage Garden and the theme from Titanic.
Matt and TK send in their Digimon, but the baddie digivolves to his most powerful mega state, Diaboromon, which is totally supposed to be Diablomon, but in case it wasn't obvious, the folks who dubbed this movie are not terribly perceptive. Now they have a real fight on their hands.
There's something wrong with me. What is it?
I think it's your mother's recipes.
I hate to tell you I told you so, but I told you so.
Christ, there's more poop jokes in this movie than the Phantom Menace.
Actually, this one's a plot point.
Oh good, because I really wanted the diarrhea to play a big part in the story.
With Izzy out of the room, Tai crashes the computer, like you do, cutting off his connection from the Digimon.
Not a single call can get through. Huh? Hello, this is Ty.
Hello, did you program me?
It's Infamon.
Can Spider-Man come out to play?
Tai tries to get help from his friends, but most of them are already preoccupied.
You got this postcard in the mail from Mimi.
She's on vacation? In Hawaii? Oh.
I don't have a care in the world, and I'm wishing you were here!
Never make that face again. It's like the face a pedophile makes when he hears they're renewing Toddlers and Tiaras. Oh, cut away from that!
Hi, Izzy. Welcome back.
So, for a bunch of confusing exposition, or maybe not confusing, boring is a much better word, a whole bunch of shit is thrown at us about a Digimon cloning himself, taking over all the phone lines, operating all the computers of the world. And did I also mention he launches nuclear weapons on the side, too? We're not even halfway through this movie, and already they're throwing all this shit at us. How are you gonna top nuclear weapons about to destroy the world?
Agreed. It would be a little better if they saved this for the climax of the film, but hey, it's got some good animation. It's a touch suspenseful.
Oh yeah, there's so many characters I'm concerned about. Like this girl I don't know, or these kids I just met, and these two that do nothing but quote awkward puns. Oh yeah, I really want to know what happens to them.
Oh, come on, you have to admit it's a little bit exciting.
Exciting? It's almost a half an hour of people doing nothing but looking at their computer screen. That's really all that's going on. I mean, think about it. Is there anything more wasteful and useless than just looking at your computer screen for almost a half hour? So Diabromon is defeated, the nuclear bombs are deactivated and conveniently don't land on any civilians, and clearly, most important of all, Ty gets his email to his lovely lady friend.
I love that. So what's a few raindrops between friends but tight?
Oh, I bet they make a cute couple.
Whoa, what'd I say?
It would take too long to explain.
We better take a break here. We'll be back in a minute.
See what Digimon does to people.
And they're supposed to be together in the stupid 02 epilogue.
You good?
I'll be fine.
You weren't even wearing mascara. How is it running?
I don't know. So, third story. Oh my god, 35 minutes to go.
Why do you keep mentioning the time anyway?
Well, that's one of the reasons this movie is so terrible. It has no arc, no connection between the three stories. You can pop on the movie at any point and have no idea if you're in the first act or near the climax or the resolution. Just it's a bunch of series of vignettes with no point. Well, one point, I guess. Make money for Fox Kids!
Yoli and Poromon can match wits with the best of them, as well as tan lines. And there's Davis and Demi Vemon. Yeah, I know, Davis looks a lot like my brother Ty.
We blame lazy character design for that.
Ty and Kari are in New York because, well, really, if we can't stay in the same story for 5 minutes, why should we stay in the same location? And they come across Willis.
Hey, he finally has a point in this movie!
Well, kinda-ish.
Kokomon, this has to stop!
You know, I'm glad they jump right into the fight sequence instead of, oh, I don't know, develop this Willis kid they've been building up for the past hour. Who wants to care about who's fighting when we could just jump straight to the fighting itself? So the American Rabbit and the Muppet Minstrel Show have a little fight until the big one disappears.
They call the other cast members down to Colorado, who, if you don't know the show, you have no idea who most of these kids are. Right, Critic?
Is that the California kid from The Wizard?
My point exactly.
California.
But Kokomon appears and the Digimon digivolve to fight him.
Demi Vemon Digivolve to Evolve!
The fire of courage.
So, in their world, do texts always appear behind them like Scott Pilgrim? For that matter, does every Digimon get a narrator to announce their name whenever they do this?
Raidramon, the storm of friendship.
Wouldn't that get old after a while?
Critic opens refrigerator. Critic drinks milk. Critic gives incredibly annoyed look. Critic walks off screen. Critic kicks the narrator in the balls.
And the narrator feels incredible pain.
And I'm not gonna lie, this is pretty much the rest of the movie. Just pointless fighting with really no purpose at all.
Back to the
first act has no purpose. You will connect it to the plot.
Even the Pokemon movie at least had a moral, and okay, it was bullshit and it made no sense, but at least it was trying to have a point. This all seems entirely useless. Oh, wait, I take it back. There's a quick backstory about where Kokomon came from, but it goes by so fast you almost miss it.
8 years ago, a Digi-Egg came out of my computer, and it hatched into twin Digimon, Terriermon and Kokomon. I finally had someone to play with, my very own pets, and they talked too. It was the best. Before my Digi-Egg could hatch, it was attacked by a virus, and it mutated into Diaboromon.
Yeah, the pacing in this movie is awful. That should have been like a big dramatic reveal if it took its time, develop some character, or at least slow down for a minute.
But even the backstory seems half-assed, with the plot being so rushed and there being no time to have the audience absorb what's going on. It's sort of like a story as complicated as Harry Potter was being given the same treatment.
Harry Potter had a family, but he didn't like them, but it's okay because he's going to a school where others like him, and there's magic, and he's magic too. But there's a bad teacher who it turns out isn't bad, but then it turns out he is bad, but then it turns out he isn't bad, maybe.
There's also a bunch of bad kids and a bad guy with no nose. They're really evil, except for maybe they might be good, except for one student might be good. And there's also a teacher who might be good, might be evil, I'm not entirely sure. And then they all lived in 3 books pointlessly stretched out into 7 ever after.
Actually, maybe that would be better. Hell, even the emotional reactions are incredibly rushed. Look!
What's the matter with you?
That's the saddest story I ever heard.
I'm the one with the problem, not you. Get over it.
Okay.
I didn't edit that! I swear to God, I did not edit that scene at all. That's really how it's played. That is the real pacing of that moment.
Come on, Critic, be fair. I'm sure some emotional issues can be resolved that well. You just have to be mature and...
Oh yeah? Get over that whole Ty and his lady friend thing.
Alright, fine, then I will.
What?
He was supposed to be with Ty and TK and Kari. We're supposed to have cute little perfect babies and Sub-Zero-2 in the eye socket.
What follows is fighting, and more fighting. God, I've never seen so much action be so boring. I mean, there's a rabbit with machine guns for hands. How do you make that boring? How?
Come on, we have to digivolve to our mega form so we can release the golden Digi-Eggs. Anjumon Morph Digivolve to... Seraphimon.
Anjumon Digivolve to...
The hell?
I'm sorry. I squeed.
You squeed. You squeed for something in this movie.
No, it's just like, okay, Patamon and Gatomon never achieved Mega Level in the show before, along with several other Digimon, but that's not important right now. And it's so rare to see, and they look so cool. And
Cool? It's a Burger King Kids Club chess piece and a My Little Pony version of Falcor.
Seraphimon, carry me away in your big man angel arms. I wanna hug it.
You need Digi-medication.
But in an exciting, if not kind of confusing climax, Kokomon somehow takes them back in time.
He can do that now?
I'm not questioning it. To a point when the virus that affected him was at a weaker stage. So they use their Digi-powers to defeat the virus, and Kokomon returns back to his normal form.
I guess without the virus, Kokomon couldn't heal himself anymore. The battle was too much for him.
Don't be sad, Willis. One thing you have to learn about Digimon, they never really die.
As long as there's someone around to buy our shit, we'll never disappear.
Kokomon!
Like I said, Willis learned about teamwork the hard way.
He did?
He also found out that Davis was right. Digimon never really die. Their information just gets reconfigured. Only sometimes they come back singing a different tune.
Smash Mouth!
Bingo!
Yeah.
Yes! What did I win?
The everlasting shame that you watched this movie. What a piece of cock-a-dick. I know nothing about this show, and this movie didn't do anything to fix that. All it did was turn me off to it even more. They say it was 3 movies spliced together, and you know what? I believe it. There is no care about what happens to these characters or if the story makes any sense whatsoever.
Let me make this clear. I love Digimon, flaws and corniness and all. There was a passion and sincerity to the TV series, even the English language version, that surpassed any expectations for a marketing vehicle that existed. The production team was told to promote toys, and they made a moving, charming, fun story that fans still remember fondly today. But this? The purest and most obnoxious of cash-ins that takes the worst aspects of the show and blows them up tenfold in the hopes of making a quick buck for Fox. It's hilarious, it's embarrassing, it's pretty much unwatchable. The impact this movie has made on the Digimon franchise and its not-so-great reputation has made me so upset I can't even sleep tonight. And if I can't sleep tonight, nobody can.
I deserve a Joe Signal, Critic!